Clarity Clinical Solutions.
Traditional clinical trials follow a fixed plan from start to finish. But what if a trial could change course based on data it collects along the way? Adaptive designs allow exactly that, making trials faster, more efficient, and more ethical. An adaptive design is a clinical trial that uses accumulating data to modify aspects of the study without undermining its validity. The adaptations are not ad hoc, they are pre-specified in the protocol. At pre-planned points, an independent committee looks at the data and may continue as planned, stop early, modify doses, or change the sample size. The key principle: adaptive designs do not mean the trial is unreliable. They mean the trial is designed to use information efficiently. Why adapt? Efficiency: adaptive trials can reach answers faster by dropping ineffective arms early or combining phases. Ethics: as fewer patients are exposed to ineffective treatments, and more receive the better treatment. Flexibility: when initial assumptions are wrong, adaptive designs can adjust without restarting. Sample size re-estimation adjusts the number of patients based on observed variability. Sample size calculations rely on assumptions about variability and effect size, which are often wrong. At an interim analysis, the blinded data is used to re-estimate the required sample size. This was used in over 50% of recent cardiovascular outcome trials. Adaptive dose finding adjusts doses during the trial. The continual reassessment method adjusts the dose for each new cohort based on observed toxicity. Bayesian dose finding uses prior knowledge to estimate the optimal dose. Adaptive dose finding can reduce phase 1 duration by 30 to 50% and expose 40% fewer patients to subtherapeutic doses. A seamless phase 2/3 design combines dose finding and confirmation into one continuous trial. The trial starts with multiple dose arms. At an interim analysis, the best dose continues into phase 3 while existing patients contribute data to the final analysis. This saves 12 to 18 months of development time. Multi-arm multi-stage or MAMS designs test multiple treatments simultaneously against one shared control. At each interim analysis, arms that show insufficient activity are dropped. Instead of running 5 separate trials, MAMS runs one trial with shared controls. The Stampede trial for prostate cancer tested 6 treatment strategies against one control, identifying 2 effective treatments and dropping 4. Response adaptive randomization changes the randomization ratio based on which arm is performing better. As data accumulates, more patients get the better treatment, up to 80 to 90%. This is called a play-the-winner design. It was famously used in the ECMO trial for respiratory failure, where the adaptive ratio reached 90% in favor of ECMO. Drop-the-loser designs use futility analysis to eliminate ineffective treatments early. If a drug is unlikely to show a meaningful benefit, that arm is terminated. The opposite, early success stopping, stops the trial if a treatment is so clearly effective that continuing would be unethical. These designs use alpha spending functions to preserve the overall false positive rate. The FDA published comprehensive guidance on adaptive designs in 2019. Key condition: adaptations must be pre-specified in the protocol. The overall type 1 error rate must be controlled. The FDA strongly encourages early dialogue. In 2023, about 35% of new drug applications to the FDA incorporated at least one adaptive design element, up from less than 5% in 2000. I-SPY2 is the most famous adaptive trial, an ongoing phase 2 platform trial for high-risk breast cancer. It uses a MAMS design with response adaptive randomization. Multiple drugs are tested simultaneously against a shared control. Promising drugs are graduated to phase 3. Ineffective ones are dropped. I-SPY2 has screened over 20 agents and cut the time to identify effective drugs by 2 to 3 years. The recovery trial changed the pandemic. Launched in March 2020, it was a pragmatic, adaptive platform trial testing multiple COVID-19 treatments. It enrolled 47,000 patients across 200 hospitals. Dexamethasone was shown to reduce mortality by 1/3. Hydroxychloroquine and lopinavir were dropped for futility. The adaptive design found effective treatments in months, not years. Adaptive designs have challenges. Statistical complexity, they require sophisticated methods to control error rates. Operational challenges, real-time data collection and fast analyses require advanced infrastructure. Operational bias risk, if cites no interim results, it can bias enrollment. Regulatory uncertainty, some sponsors still prefer traditional designs for certainty. So here is what we learned. Adaptive designs use accumulating data to modify trials. 6 types: sample size re-estimation, dose finding, seamless 2/3, MAMS, response adaptive randomization, and drop the loser. Benefits: faster answers, fewer patients exposed to ineffective treatments. Real-world proof, I-SPY2 and recovery. The FDA supports adaptive designs with pre-planned rules. The traditional fixed trial will not disappear, but adaptive designs are becoming an essential tool.